All right, let's go get into it. Topic number one, the Warm CO-1b. What is it? It's a recreation of the legendary tube take, the CO-1b, because it's two versions. It's the version 2. So Warm made their version. I love the CO-1b from the time that I was using it over at Sound Vault Studio. I've used it in a couple other studios. So I put some heavy usage using it. I've never owned one, but I've used it a lot and I know how it sounds. Warm gave us a new version of it for like a fraction of the price, like literally a third of the price, I think. As you can see, I'm a Warm advocate. I got a few Warm pieces in the background. I probably got about 5 or 6 Warm pieces in here. So I'm not one of those that act bougie on Warm. Honestly, I was one of those until my time at Ivy Labs. Man, I was talking with one of the guys and I had the WA-76 at the time. And I was comparing it to the real 1176. And we liked the sound of the 1176 and I couldn't understand. He was like a more seasoned engineer than me. He was like, bro, it just, the 1176 is new and it's doing what it's supposed to do. It was his actual like vintage unit. He was like, my old, you know what, unit just not performing well. Like it's been calibrated. It's just like, it's just not gonna move and be as fast as this 76. So I'm looking at the Warm the same way. The difference is you can definitely hear the differences in them. The CO-1b, the actual one, it seems like it basically has a better mid-range on it, in my opinion. The newer one though, the Warm one, has got a better top end on it. So I think it can perform better than the actual one according to what microphone and what preamp you use. If you use just the legendary combo of the C800, if you got a Sony C800, a Neve, and the CO-1b, I don't think the Warm one's gonna replicate what you got, because that Sony mic is giving you crazy top end and the Neve is taking care of the mids and the lows. Obviously, I'm speaking on vocals. So the CO-1b just like heightens whatever you got going on. The Warm version, in my opinion, can make up for some of the high end. Let's say you can't afford a Sony 800, but you got like an 87, you still got a nice microphone. The 87 has got nice mid-range. So that new Warm can help you make up for like that mid-range difference that you're not gonna hear with the original and then the Warm. Like I say, this is just from my ears of using the CO-1b extensively for a few years and just hearing the sound examples from the actual Warm. Like I say, I want to get a unit. I'm actually probably gonna buy one, man, because why not? Why not? I'm never gonna buy a real tube tech. Like, so why not buy this one? Because I haven't been disappointed by a Warm piece yet. You see, you see that orange tone beast, you know what I'm saying? I got it. I love it on like when I'm tracking on my MPCs, on my drum machine. So they all got a purpose. They may not sound exactly like the original, but they got a purpose. You can use them. And, you know what I'm saying? Like the EQPs, like they don't sound exactly like the real thing, but they got a use. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to use the EQPs on like my drum bus. It blows up the bottom and the top end. So that's how I'm gonna look at this Warm. I'm not gonna look at it like it's gonna be a direct competitor or even a replacement for the CO-1b, even though there's some legendary people that said you really can't hear the difference with the mixing and everything you're gonna do afterward. You really can't hear the difference. But like I say, if you got the specific microphone or the right microphone to make up for that mid-range that you're gonna be losing, because like it's just that like I don't know what it is about the real CO-1b. It's just, man, it just does something to your mid-range, like everything between like 300 and like 1.1, in my opinion. It just makes everything sound so good. So I didn't hear this from the Warm, from the sound examples. So we'll see though, because like I say, until I get it in my hands, I can't really give a 100% and say that it's better or as good as or it's not as good as the CO-1b. I could just go by what I'm hearing in the sound example. So, but from what I hear, it's definitely worth the price of admission, man. Like less than $2,000 for like a CO-1b basically to have in your studio, way less than $2,000. So yeah, man, it may be a cop for a lot of people, like especially like people in my position, because like I'm not at the top of the range where I could just buy the nice gear, but I'm not at the bottom either. I got a refined ear. I understand what I'm listening for, and I understand what can help me out later. So I believe that's what Warm, like companies like Warm and Audioscape and all that, we the middle class sound engineers. We the ones in the middle. They make tools for us. So I'm gonna relish the fact that I can get something that'll put me in the realm of the CO-1b for a quarter of the price, not a quarter, for like a third of the price, because a real CO-1b, for one, we couldn't even get none for a while. So that's probably why Warm started this project, because for a while you couldn't even get a CO-1b. Like, they was gold. Like, people, I seen like Reverb sold listens, people were selling them for like more than what the retail price, and they might have had it for 10 years because we couldn't get one for a while. So now they $4,000 plus. Like, let me get this Warm, man. It's a third of the price. Let me see what it can do. Like I said, you put it with an 87 and like a Neve, like either a BAE or a Heritage Neve, or the real thing, because we got a real 1073 from Neve AMS in the back, but it's not the full size. And I think the full size ones sound a little bit different. Not better, but a little bit different. I'm probably gonna get a full size one eventually, but I'm definitely gonna get the Warm. To pair with that in the 87, chef kiss, man. Like, yeah, it's definitely on my cop list. It might be a mid 2024 cop. It's not an early 2024 cop, or even like a immediate cop, but it's like, it's on my list. It's definitely on my list. So I can't wait to get it in my hands. I'm gonna get it in my hands before then. I honestly can get it in my hands in the next month or so if I'm really, really motivated to make it happen. But I'm probably only gonna cop one for myself in the next 5 to 6 months. So yeah, it's definitely on the Volt scale. I put it at a 7, man. Like, far as a 10 is like something that come out today, I gotta have it tomorrow. That's the 10. 1 is like something I don't care about. It don't come with me at all. I don't care. I say this Warm is at about a 7. It's definitely a cop that's gonna happen. But yeah, the Warm CO-1b clone, or recreation, or whatever they want to call it, homage, it definitely looks like it's a must cop, man. It's real tube compression for like less than like $2,000, $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't beat that. Cop that.